Welcome back to the Warcorgi YouTube channel, and today we will be testing out the beta codex for Sisters of Battle Adepta Sororitas.
And 1,000 Suns, so we are both quite extremely curious how it works out today.
Me especially. Not a lot of huge changes for you, but things did go down in point cost, right?
Yes, definitely. I mean, rubrics, for example, 16. I didn't see any entry that the Infernal Bolt pistol got cheaper, but...
Yeah, we're not talking about 1,000 Suns right now. We're talking about the Sisters of Battle. Sweeping changes for the Sisters. And what I can say after reading the codex is, I know that we lost some really cool tricks. The Acts of Faith that we had before, allowing you to move twice or shoot twice, they were all very powerful, and you could, do them throughout the game. It has changed significantly. So we're going to see how it works out. So Simon, what I got today is a battalion of sisters all over here. And then I got a spearhead detachment led by a missionary with some penitent engines and also some arco flashlights. So let's go through the list. With the battalion and the spearhead, I got 9 command points. And it's also going to give me 11 active faith points. So you start with 3 when you have a detachment, that's Adepta Sororitas. And you get 1 more point for every 10 girls on the field. I have over 80, so that's going to give me 11. So we're going to have plenty of opportunities to play with this.
So it encourages actually to take more sisters on the field.
Maybe. I'm not convinced at this point that Acts of Faith are going to be strong enough to warrant building that way, but we're going to see. One of the reasons that I took so many girls is I have taken the Order of the Bloody Rose.
Okay.
So they're going to get +1 attack and +1 strength whenever they charge or are charged.
Okay, so you're going probably also for the stratagem with the Act of Faith, where you can fight twice.
On a 5+, I don't know, and I'm not sure it's going to be needed because I brought along a lot of shooting power, and I also brought some priests. So let's go through my list. So I got 2 canonesses. The first one is the Warlord over here. She has a power sword and a combi bolter with the flamer, combi flamer. Her Warlord trait is Pure of Will, so she can deny the witch twice. And all psychers suffer -1 to their psychic test if they're within 12 inches of her. Now that pairs up nicely with the Brazier of Eternal Flame, and that means that with their Shield of Faith, normally you roll 1d6 to deny a psychic power, which isn't very good, obviously. This is going to allow her and any units within 6 inches to roll on 2d6.
Which is quite good. I mean, for example, when you face like a psychic heavy army like my 1,000 Suns, all the smites.
You see where I'm coming from.
Yes.
And of course, she retains the ability to allow units within 6 inches of her to reroll 1s from the same order. And then we got another canoness with an Inferno pistol, and a power sword. No other upgrades on her. Okay, the core of the army is in the 5 sister squads you see here before you. I got 2 squads of 15, and they have 2 meltas in them. The Sister Superior has a power sword in each. And then I got a Simulacrum Imperialis, which gives me +1 to my Acts of Faith rolls.
One question though, wouldn't it be better that you maybe would take another squad, because you have 2 50-man squads, so you could actually make another troop detachment. So you would get 1 more Act of Faith point. Wouldn't it be better?
Well, it would be the same amount of sisters, so it's not based on the unit. So I get that. I could go up to 6 troop choices, and I could have probably run. I would need more leaders, but 2 battalions. I'm still kind of tinkering with the list. What I like about the 15 sister squads is when you use an Act of Faith on them, and you're limited to use 1 Act of Faith. You can't use the same Act of Faith twice in the same turn, is it affects 15 girls instead of 10. So you get some economy of action there just based off the fact that they are so big.
But don't you think they are prone maybe to moral shenanigans? For example, when I just shoot my Inferno bolters on mass? So
interesting, there's a lot of ways in this new codex to mitigate morale issues. You have an Act of Faith, which goes off on a 3+ or a 2+ if you have a Simulacrum Imperialis on there, which lets them ignore the morale phase, so they're not going to have to run. You have the traditional way to spend 2 command points in order for them not to run. You have a new stratagem for 1 command point to halve the numbers of sisters that will run. And the missionary has a special rule called Word of the Emperor, which allows you to roll a dice for each sister that's going to run on a 4+. They don't run.
Okay.
So I think these squads of 15 are going to bring a lot of firepower.
Oh, definitely.
And if they can get into combat, number one, they're going to have 2 attack space when they charge. And if I have a priest near them, that'll be 3 attack space. Rerolling 1s if a canvas is nearby. And then if they survive that in the next round, if they're still there, then I'll have bolt pistols as well. So I think they're going to be shooting on the way in, and once they get in, I think they're going to be okay in close combat. So those are the 2 big squads. I got a squad of 10 here with 2 multi-guns, and then the Sister Superior has a chain sword and plasma pistol. And 2 squads of 5. Sister Superior has a Stormbolter, and then 2 girls are armed with a Stormbolter in each of those. That pairs nicely with the Blessed Bolts stratagem, which gives Stormbolters -2 AP, 2 damage each.
Yeah.
And since they are rapid fire 2,
yes,
if I get within 12 inches, they're putting 4 shots out. So that's 12 shots. That gets pretty good. So 5 troop units, all objectives secure. You know.
So I know which squad I have to get rid of first. This one and this one because of Elfdust.
You're gonna have some tough choices, I will tell you.
Yes, I see it already.
So in the elite section, I brought 3 Ministorm Priest. I can't give them any upgrades, so this power sword that you see there is just a regular old ratchety sword. What they allow is units within 6 inches are going to be able to gain +1 attack at all times.
At all times. Okay.
At all times.
So they have to be wholly within, or just
within?
Just within. Okay.
So as long as 1 mile is within 6 inches. So now you can see the synergy. If I charge with any of these units, they're getting 3 attacks on the charge at strength 4.
And
Not bad.
And when you pass them 1 act of faith on a 5+, you can fight twice, which can be horrendous.
It can be horrendous. Okay. So those are the elites. Going on to the heavy support, I got the good old Retributors back here with the 4 heavy bolters. And the Sister Superior has a plasma pistol, chainsword, and then they're backed up with 5 more sisters. They don't do anything special in the new Codex, but 4 heavy bolters has always been good.
Of course.
Exorcist got better. So it's cheaper, and the Exorcist missile launcher now does D6 wounds instead of D3 wounds. Still a lot variable there with D6 shots, but
I mean,
should be okay.
Your anti-tank weapon got improved and cheaper, so I think
very much so.
So you have something to deal now with tanks.
Strength 8, AP -4, still really good.
Definitely.
2 squads of 10 Seraphim. The Sister Superior has a power sword and a plasma pistol. And then 2 girls in there, each are rocking 2 Inferno pistols, which is my favorite setup. I think the hand flamer is still a bit of a trap, but it did get better. Now it does D6 shots instead of D3.
Okay.
And then a whole bunch of girls sporting 2 bolt pistols.
So, and the hand flamers are just 8-inch range.
They are 8-inch range.
So when you deep strike them, you're not able to.
You are not, but there is a new stratagem in the book which allows you to shoot as soon as you deep strike in, and for that, in that portion only, that range is increased to 12 inches.
Ah, okay.
I think it's a trap. I don't like it. And then they can shoot again in the shooting phase, obviously.
I don't think it's a trap. I mean, when I just compare to my Thousand Suns, I'm quite relying heavily on my HQs. I mean, you just deep strike, you roast one Exalted or maybe a Demon Prince of that.
They're strength 3 AP dash.
But still, it's a lot of amount of shots which are coming.
It is. No, I love Inferno pistols, so I stuck with that. Alright, over here to the Spearhead detachment. I got the Missionary, as I said, as the leader. No upgrades, because funny enough in the Codex, no upgrades allowed on them, not even a power sword. Okay. So that's going to be feedback I give them. The 6 Arco Flagellants are really pretty good. So they have base 2 attacks, and you roll a D3 each time for those, for the total number of attacks. And with a Priest around, it's going to be base 3 attacks. So anywhere between 3 and 9 attacks per. And they have a stratagem which allows them to just do 3 attacks per. So 9 attacks each. But at the end of it, you got to roll in on a 6 for some reason, not a 1. You lose 1.
Okay.
They have 2 wounds each, and they have a 5 up feel no pain save, essentially. Damage mitigation roll. And then I got 3 of the Penitent Engines. That's a separate unit for each one. They got the dual heavy flamers, and then the penitent engine blades. So the big rule change for them, it's no longer 4+ to see if they fight a second time. They automatically fight a second time.
But you have to charge.
You do have to charge, I think.
You have to charge. And
okay.
it's just in the first combat round, so when you charge actually. But still, I mean, once they arrive somewhere, they're normally, yeah, roast things.
Let's hope so. The issue's always been arriving for my penitent engines. They did get a huge buff in that they now have a 5+ damage mitigation roll. So every time you do damage to them, if they fail their 4+ armor save, then I get to roll, and maybe they don't take the damage. So this is the first time I feel like they might actually get into combat for me. So we're gonna hope so. Okay, that is 1,748 points. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous.
Me too, excited and nervous because our previous battle reports, I didn't face so many sisters. I mean, well, I have tools to mitigate your power armor. That's not a problem, but that quantity. The quantity was always a problem for my Thousand Suns in any case. So
I think that's gonna be a problem for you, and I think target priority is gonna be a problem for you. Any one of these units get in close combat, you're gonna start feeling some pain.
Yes,
you're gonna have a bad time.
Yes. But
so
I'm quite confident because we also got some point reduction. So.
Well, we'll talk about those next.
Yes.
All right, Simon, tell us about the 1,000 Suns.
Okay, so today I have also a battalion, 750 exactly on the nose. I will start with the HQs. I have today 3 HQs. Demon Prince Wings, 2 talents of his choice. He's a warlord. He has the overworthy impressions, so he has a 3+ invulnerable save.
He's the warlord.
Yes, he's the warlord. And well, all sorcerers have smite, but aspiring is also the baby smite. But I don't mention it on, but he has additional flickering flames and gaze of fate.
Okay.
So in the center I have another exalted, just simple plain exalted. He has temporal manipulation and dual bolt. And the third one on a disc obviously has warp time impressions. So let's go to the troop section. This is quite crowded today. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 troop choices. 2 cultist bobs. One is 15, the other one is 14. I think he's missing one, but I will add it later. And yes, then I have 2 squads of rubrics. Everyone has 10 men Inferno Bolters and Soul Quiver Cannon. The one squad has his Small Smite plus the Zinj Firestorm, and the other one has the Glamour of Zinj. And the third squad is just an Inspiring +4 with Warp Flamers, has the Boon of Mutation. So I can cast and I can roll on the table for a model to get some Boon of Mutation stuff. Elite choice, I have 3 of them. Obviously my well-known Contemptor Dreadnoughts, Siege, normal claws plus the Butcher Cannons.
Yep.
And nowadays I bring again back my Terminators. They are cheaper than before. Yes, so typical loadout, Inferno Bolters, 4 stuff, and Hellfire Missile Rack and the Soul Reaper Cannon. And today for heavy support is this big boy, which is just a torso for now, because I want to magnetize him. He's a Forge Fiend. And he will have today the demonic jaws plus 2 Hades autocannons. So that's exactly 750 points on the nose.
1,750.
Yes.
All right. So I like it. I like to see all these 1,000 Sun Rubric Marines on the field. That's a nice change, and then I think the cultists are a nice addition. So
even though they got more expensive, I mean they cost as much as a guardsman literally, but still they are doing the job good. I think I think the reason why GW increases obviously because of the abuse what people were doing with them, and the second thing is guardsmen are not so much affected in my opinion by strategy games. For example, you can put on those simple plain cultist Veterans of the Long War.
Going all the way back to the Horus Heresy.
Exactly.
Those guys fighting side by side with Angron, probably. Yeah.
Not with Angron, but
they might be here.
Yeah, so that's my list.
Okay.
It's not definitely super competitive, but we want to see how this turns out. And by the way, we're playing the ITC mission format, so
yeah,
I also designed in a way in way for that mission type.
We'll go over what secondaries we pick as we go over the mission and deployment. So that'll be coming up next. Tonight's mission is Scenario 3, Nexus Control from the ITC mission pack. With a deployment style of frontline assault, I beat Simon in the initial dice roll, so I have opted to take this near side. So with frontline assault, it's 6 inches from the side, building up to 15 inches in the center, and then 6 inches to the side again. These bastions you see on both sides of the board are impassable terrain. No one has brought the keys. We got some barricades, some ruins. That church is also impassable, as are those bunker systems. And then we played this as ruins. We of course have a couple of forests in there as well. So for deployment, Simon, you were able to start deploying first. Why don't you take us through your side?
Okay, I will go from left to the right, is the best. So here in the back line I have my Forge Fiend, then I have the Exalted on foot, wrapped by some cultists. Going further, first Rubric Squad and the Hellforged Dread, Demon Prince, Warflamer Rubric Squad, cultists, Exalted on disc, Rubrics, Contemptor Dread. That's everything.
I had quite a few more units than you did on my right flank. Anchoring it is the Penitent Engine. Then I have a squad of Seraphim in there. It's hard to differentiate these, but 5 girls there with the Stormbolters. And you see a priest there with the Candace. That's not the Warlord. 15 girls in front of them. We have the Mighty Exorcist there. And there's the Retributor squad with the 4 Heavy Bolters, supported by a priest. 2 Penitent Engines along with the Missionary leading the way for us in the front. Another 15-girl squad. We have the Arcoflagellants there. To their right is another unit of 5 with the Stormbolters, unit of 10 with the 2 Meltas, and on the left is the Seraphim. So Simon, you have chosen Marked for Death, Big Game Hunter, and Headhunter, right?
Yes.
For Headhunter, I have a whole bunch of characters that you can choose from. Big Game Hunter, you're looking at the 3 Penitent Engines.
Plus the Exorcist.
Exactly. And then this unit of Seraphim, unit of 15 girls, unit of 15 girls, and unit of 10 Seraphim. Now you might ask yourself, why didn't Simon pick a smaller unit of girls? They did not meet the 7 command point
requirement.
Yeah, the 7-point requirement. It's not command point, but you know what I'm talking about.
Power level.
Power level for that. So I have picked Marked for Death, and anything in blue armor is marked for death.
All the rubrics plus the Terminators, which are in Deep Strike Reserve.
Yep, I have also picked Big Game Hunter, which will be the Demon Prince, the 2 Dreadnoughts, and the Forged Fiend. And then I picked Ground Control. There are 4 objectives on the table. 2 are over in the center, 1 in this ruins, 1 on the other side of this ruins. Of course, I have 1 in my deployment zone, and Simon has 1. So I will get a point for each one of those I control at the end of the game, fingers crossed. With that, Simon, we're ready to see who gets to choose to go first or second. You get a +1 to yours. I did roll a 5. You have rolled a 2. Simon, I'm going to choose to go second.
Okay.
And I will also spend 2 points to play Prepared Positions.
It says you gave a cover.
Exactly right. So that's going to drop me down to 9 command points as we get ready to start the game.
So, man.
We're both very excited about this. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you. The first chapter approved 2018 Battle Report.
Here we go.
Hey guys, Thousand Suns movement turn 1. So here on the left flank, everything stayed put. The rest just went in a how you call it?
Echelon.
In an echelon. And yes, not very far aggressive.
and yes, keeping everything for rerolls, for stuff like that. And yeah, now we are coming to the Thousand Suns Psychic phase, because this is the most important one.
Guess the only thing of interest there is you did advance the Cultist.
Exactly, I forgot to to say that one, but that's fine. Obviously, I wanted to get into that objective, but I think 1 inch out of that one. I should have rolled a 4, but never mind.
Cultist kind of shamble. All right, so now on to the Psychic phase, right?
Yes.
All right.
Hey guys, Thousand Suns Psychic phase is done now after a little bit brainstorming and doing. So first I casted Gaze of Fate on the Demon Prince. Then he casted Flickering Flames on the Forge Fiend. This unit tried to manifest a Zinj Firestorm on the Penitent Engine, couldn't do it. Then I went on. This guy's casted Boon of Change on the Demon Prince. He rolled a 6, so he gets now for the rest of the game +1 to his psychic tests. I should have done this earlier. And yeah, then this guy warp timed the cultist to the objective over there, put prescience on this Contemptor Dread. This unit and this unit glamored this Contemptor. So I think I've said everything. And you were trying to deny 2 times?
Yeah, so you rolled a 9, I rolled a 9, you rolled an 8, I rolled an 8. 24-inch deny on a 2d6 thanks to my Warlord trait and the Brazier, but no luck there. So, all right, very good. We go on to your shooting phase next.
Okay. Okay, guys. So the shooting phase is done, or actually also the whole round. So I started up with the Demon. I used Demon Forge on the Forge Fiend. All the shots went for the from the Hades went for the Exorcist, taking out I think 6 wounds.
Mm-hmm.
So he's down to
6.
So he was 12 wounds. Okay.
Yeah.
Then this Contemptor took out I think 6 wounds out of that.
He did.
And then these 2, 1 Soul Reaper and 2 Inferno Bolters managed to destroy that Penitent Engine. And the other part, beside from that one, managed to kill here, I think 2 more.
Uh-huh.
That Dread took away, I think, just 2 wounds.
I think, yeah, 2 wounds. He's down to 3 because he had some help.
Yeah, from that squad of Rubrics.
And you played?
And I also used Veterans of the Long War, so I'm down now to 5 command points.
Yeah, but it worked out.
So there's no charges, obviously, and we're going to Mike's next turn. For information, I control 2 objectives, and I killed at least 1, so we will see what Michael does to see how it goes on points.
Yep, and Big Game Hunter is one of your secondaries, so you'll get a point for that as well.
Exactly.
So strong start, Simon.
Okay. You're welcome.
I didn't say thank you. Sisters have made a general advance. This guy has moved out expeditiously. Rolling the 4 has moved up to the fence line for his advance. These girls just moved their normal 12 and now secured objective 3. These girls advanced as well to move a little bit farther. While these girls move normally, Canoness has placed herself in between that big squad, the squad of Retributors back here, and still within 6 inches of the good old Exorcist, while that priest has remained in place, as had the Retributors. This priest is anchoring the center for us, as you can see, while I rolled a 1 to advance this Penitent Engine. 15-girl squad, used to be 15 girls, has moved up, it's now 14. Along with the Stormbolters moved up normally, and the squad of 10 has moved up normally. Arcoflagellants advanced a little bit over on the left. I think they rolled a 1 as well, while the Seraphim moved a regular 12 inches and are now occupying at least part of the inside of these ruins indeed. So it's no double moves this game, but it hasn't been bad. So we'll go down to the shooting phase. We're hoping to get some work done. Okay, not a bad shooting phase and not a bad armor save for Simon. Over here on the right, started out with the Exorcist, managed to destroy the Dreadnought there. I ended up doing 4 wounds to it, and Simon made 1 save. And rolling 3d6 for wounds was really key there, because I ended up doing about 12. So that we didn't roll to see if that blowed up. You want to see if it blows up? Ooh. All right, so that's how we started off. That brought the Seraphim, who weren't really in range, definitely out of range.
Oh wait, you use command points. I can.
Yep, I ended up using 2 command points this turn.
So I get 2 back.
You get 1 back with the new rules.
1 just.
Yeah. So I'll take care of that in a second.
What? I'm 6 now.
It helped that I rolled a 6 on the number of shots here. These girls right here played Suffer Not the Witch for 1 command point, which Simon just got back. That allowed them to add +1 to their wound rolls against those Rubric Marines. Ended up killing 2 of them with that volley. I ended up doing quite a few wounds with the heavy bolters here as well, but Simon made 6 saves. So that was pretty sweet. Over here on the left, I used my Act of Faith, known as Divide Guidance, so that these girls would hit on 2s instead of 3s. And the banner there helped me out immensely as I rolled a 3. Normally you need a 4 for that to pass, but with the banner it goes down to 3. And supported by the canoness, we did a bunch of shots into that unit of rubrics. As a matter of fact, we also used Simon Faith and Fury, which allowed us to reroll 1s to hit. But between them and these just regular storm bolters back here and 6 bolter shots from back here, only managed to do 2 kills against those rubrics with some pretty good rolls. As a matter of fact, I don't think that big squad of 13 killed any, 14 killed any. Over here, the Seraphim, with 4 Meltas, a plasma gun, and 6 bolt pistols, managed to kill 2, yes, count them, 2 cultists. So mixed round for us, but I think we're in a pretty good position as we get ready to go into the charge phase next. The Seraphim managed to charge into these ruins, rolling an impressive 11 in order to engage the cultists. I did take 1 casualty moving in off Overwatch, but not bad. And once they got in there, they ended up killing 7 cultists. Before I killed the cultists, though, I did trying to get the Passion, which would give me a second attack for them, or a second chance at the fight phase, but rolled a 4, so no good there. Simon goaded me into doing that. But they killed 7 for a total of 10 for the round. Simon has opted to use 2 command points in order to save them, which brings him down to 4. What that does for him, though, is that means he's objective secured and keeps that objective, so he controls 1-2. Well, I also control 1-2, so no one's going to have the advantage there. I also only managed to kill 1 unit at this point, so I will only get 2 points for the regular primary objectives and then 1 point for the big game hunter. So right now we're going to be tied 3-3, Simon, with no one getting the extra points. But we go to 1,000 Suns turn 2 next in a very exciting game.
Hey guys, 1,000 Suns turn 2 movement is done now. So this fragment, Exalted Cultist plus Forge Fiend, stay put. I just reshuffled them to get the bubble, and this Demon Prince is going out for a walk. It's going to town.
Bring him on.
And yes, then I advanced those Warflamer rubrics over here. They stay put. He just moved a little bit back up. These cultists disengaged out of combat, and the Contemptor Dread went here and is going for some sisters.
Yeah, mistake on my part letting you disengage those cultists. I should have wrapped them, and I did not. So we'll see what happens there. And then
I deep stroke my Terminators over there.
Plenty of targets. I think we'll see where you go next. So up next is your Psychic phase.
Yes.
Let's go.
So guys, 1,000 Suns Psychic phase is done now. So first of all, obviously, Gaze of Fate came through. Then I put Flickering Flames again on the Forge Fiend over here. Then I tried to manifest Zinch's Firestorm. I couldn't manage that one. This guy manifested a Doombolt with a 9. Michael was using an stratagem on a 4+ denying, which didn't work out.
Didn't work out at all. And then I used a command point to re-roll it, and that didn't work out at all either. So it went through.
It went through, making just 1 mortal wound, but his movement is halved.
Simon did not manage to get any command points back for that.
Exactly. So, Boon of...
And then you smited as well.
Yes. Boon of Mutation, yeah, smited here one Seraphim out. Boon of Mutation didn't go off. Then I used Warp Time on that Rubrics. Roll a 5, needed a 6, used that Gaze of Fate reroll, got it. Michael tried to deny it, didn't happen.
Yeah.
Then Prescience didn't go off on the Contemptor Dread, but Glamour of Zinj did go off on the Contemptor with a reroll command, reroll this time. Or did I use?
You did.
Yes. And then yes, that was everything by far. No,
yep.
The Terminators they got Weavers on Fate.
Okay. It's worth pointing out that over here I did cast, well not cast, I used Aegis of the Emperor because I knew some smites were coming in on a faith roll of 3 up and they did that, but I did not roll the 4 up to save the smite. But actually it probably worked out as I've elongated Simon's charge here, so we'll see how that works. Alright, so that goes on to your shooting phase next.
So guys, Thousand Suns turn 2 shooting is done. I used Demon Forge again with 8 shots and managed to get just 4 wounds, but he saved 3 of them, so 2 damage done. Cultists were shooting at this Penitent Engine, getting one more wound off. That squad of Rubiks was split firing. Soul Reaper Cannon was going into that Penitent Engine, managing 1 wound off there. There the Infernal Bolters just took off 2 sisters, managing over here. First of all, Combi Bolter missed everything, double ones. Butcher Cannon didn't do anything on this guy. And yes, then
I made a lucky 6 up, or it was a 5 up save that I rolled a 6 on.
Yes. Then here also was split firing, so Reaper Cannon into the Seraphim, managing to take off 2 of the 9 ones. Then the Infernal Bolters just took 2 out of there. Then I used my Warp Flamers and used also Command Reroll for 10 hits. And then wounding was quite good on a 3 up. I managed to wound I think 9 times. Yeah, so, and then obviously he couldn't make his save, so...
It was a 4 up save, I failed 8 out of 9.
Yes, that was horrible. I agree on that one.
But as we talked about, it actually works out for me because he's more than 3 inches away from that objective and now can't charge into the remnants of that squad, so I'm okay with this.
I couldn't anyhow charge because they advanced.
That's true. Okay, I'm still okay with this.
Okay, and then...
The lies we tell ourselves.
And then the Scar of Gold Terminators were also a little bit split firing. The Soul Reaper Cannon took off one of this, I think, Dominion squad over here. The Hellfire Missile Rack was not in range for that one, but that's fine. I managed to kill one of these assassins over there. And the Combi Bolters took off 4 Bolter Babes out of that squad.
Yeah, I would say that those guys probably did the most work for you this turn.
Yes, they did.
Okay, so now we're on to your charge and fight phase. What will you be charging and fighting with?
I'm charging with my Demon Prince your Seraphim squad,
okay,
and with the Contemptor the Penitent Engine.
The Penitent Engine. All right, we'll see what happens.
Okay, guys, Thousand Suns charge phase done. The Demon Prince managed to get in charge with barely 7. He needed 7, so he got it.
He got hit by a Melt-A-Gun, an Inferno Pistol, and a Plasma Gun.
And the Melter wounded, and I made my 3-up invulnerable exactly on a 3-up, so that was crucial. So what happened? He just mulched away, I think, 7 Seraphim.
0 for 7 on the 5-up saves.
Yeah, again. So then...
Seraphim brought the bad armor.
Then I charged the Penitent Engine, making 11 hits. 11 hits.
On the Heavy Flamers on Overwatch?
Yes, and how many wounds you made? Also,
I think 6?
6 wounds or 7. 6 or 7 wounds. And then lost 3 wounds out of that one. So he's down to 7. So he mulched the Pendant Engine couldn't regain a wound. That squad of girls were hitting back and managing to do nothing.
Yeah.
Of Glimmer of Siege. So that was my charge, and we shall see. So what I do have, I definitely have one objective. This one is contested by us both.
I actually have more models.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't matter at this point. It's only the end of the round.
Yes, and I killed, I think, 1 unit at least.
You killed 2, Penitent Engine and that, so you're gonna get 2 points, and then 1 point for killing the Penitent Engine, and the Seraphim also netted you a point.
Yes.
So 4 points during your turn.
Because they were marked for death also.
They were marked for death. I owe you a couple of morale checks. I'm going to be using the the Light of the Emperor over here on the right. It's a devotion value of 3. It would effectively let me pass my morale check automatically. That's a 6, so those girls are not going to run. Over here, I've lost 4. Their leadership is 8. 5, so 9, so they'll just lose another girl. We're fine with that. All right, and that's going to be the end of your turn. Sisters are coming back with a vengeance this turn. You watch out. So the lone surviving Penitent Engine has moved closer into the Demon Prince after the 2 remaining Seraphim jumped out of combat with him. Position this cannon so she is within 6 inches of all these units you see back here, minus the priest. And I'll let these girls stay there in case I need to throw some more firepower onto the Demon Prince. Over in the center, I moved the Stormbolter squad over to the right along with that priest. This priest has advanced up a total of 9 inches, and these Arco-Flagellants are hugging the wall so that the flamers can't see them. I elected to keep these girls in close combat while I move these girls to the left over towards Simon just a bit. So that is it for the movement phase. We are ready to go into the shooting phase next. Okay, fairly poor round of shooting for me. Started out with me playing Blessed Bolts on this squad of 5 here, and then also backing that up with Suffer Not the Witch to reroll wounds against Simon's Demon Prince to no avail. Because they all shot, and despite rerolling 1s and everything else, did 0 damage to them. Over here on the left, I tried an Act of Faith so they could hit on 3. I needed 3 up to do that and failed there as well. So, bolters, heavy bolters, the Exorcist, this squad, that squad, the 4 Inferno pistols, and the 2 heavy flamers here managed to do a total of 4 wounds to Simon's Demon Prince.
We rolled the amount of numbers for the Exorcist, and I got a command point for that.
Yeah, and Simon had spent his last command point to reroll a save for one of the Inferno pistols, but really disappointing. It couldn't have gone much worse than that. Over here, all the bolt pistol shots, rerolling 1s, didn't manage to do any damage to the Contemptor Dreadnought, and these girls only managed to kill 1 here with the multigun. Yeah, it was really, really bad. So we're going to go into the assault phase to see if we can't make some even some things up here. Hopefully, so our sisters have a chance. Coming up next. Okay, so after the charge and fight phase, we have destroyed the Demon Prince. It took the Penitent Engine's second attack, and the Demon Prince did do 2 wounds to the Penitent Engine before he had a chance to swing.
But with the reroll of the Demon Prince, I missed out of 7, I think 2, so that was crucial. Because you also made, I think, 3 saves, didn't you?
Yeah, I believe so.
So that was actually a little bit unfortunate in that case.
Their new feel no pain rule
yes.
is hugely important. Over here, I did make it into charge with the squad with the flamers, and they managed to take some wounds off me in Overwatch. Once I got in there, I killed 4 of them, and then locked the other squad of rubrics in as well. All the hits back managed to do quite a few wounds to me, and so I ended up losing 3 of my Arco-Flagellants. Over here, it was a slap fight. Nobody got injured when it came to the Dreadnought and the big squad of girls there. So with that, I do owe you a morale check on the Arco-Flagellants. They have a morale of 7. They've lost 3. 3, so 6. They are good. You've lost 4 of your rubrics there.
Fine.
And he is fine as well. Okay, so we go to turn 3. When it comes to scoring before that, I control 2 objectives. They rolled a 9 to get in the charge, and then they can move freely through walls and floors and things like that. So they were able to get to that objective even if the Demon Prince survived. Of course, their objective is secured. So I get a point for holding 1 and a point for holding more than Simon. Simon killed 2 units during his turn, and I only killed the Demon Prince. So he gets an extra point for that one. All in all, the score, I do get 1 for Big Game Hunter for killing the Demon Prince. All in all, the score is now Simon 8, me and the Sisters of Battle 7, going to turn 3, very close game. All right, Simon, tell us about what you've done in your movement for turn 3.
Okay, what I've done, actually not a lot. They still stay there where they are. Contemptors engage in close combat. They stayed put. He just moved a little bit back. And then I used the Dark Matter Crystal, which was on this guy, to remove them out of combat so they can now freely shoot again. And
okay.
Anything they want.
All right, so on to your psychic phase next. All right, Simon, the bodies are starting to pile up, and it's just your psychic phase. What'd you do?
Okay, so I started over here. I have smitten that unit of sisters. I think 2 were killed.
Yep.
Then I managed to get off again a Doombolt on a 9 with this guy. He's clearly now MVP almost. I mean, getting 2 times Doombolt in a row. That's hilarious. And killed finally the Panzer engines, so I'm not afraid of any combat charges now. Over here, that unit made Zinch's Firestorm. Managed to make it. On 6s you roll 9 dice, on 6s you get mortal wounds. Killed 3 of that sisters over here. Then I prescienced this squad, and I have smitten here also away one dude. And this guy was trying to attempt the baby smite, but he failed. So yeah.
Alright.
That's the turn.
On to the shooting phase next.
Exactly.
So Simon, tell us about your turn 3 shooting.
Yes, so Demon Forge Fiend was shooting at this guy, was not managing to get rid of any wounds of him, unfortunately.
Not so great without your stratagems and fancy psychic powers, huh?
Yeah, but still, it's worth it.
Yeah. Did some work.
I mean, 148 points for this guy is a steal, I think. Cultists, killing here 2 girls.
Killed 1. You killed 2 with the smite.
And 2 with the smite, yes. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, then over here was a little bit shuffling. The Soul Reaper and 2 Inferno Bolters were shooting at him, managing nothing to kill in turn.
There was Sarius coming through.
Yeah, and 3 shots on these guys. Also didn't manage to do a lot. I think 1 wound. I think
a little bit more than that, but it was pretty 1 or 2.
Yeah. So then this guy was shooting at him. He saved it.
Yep.
Then the whole shooting with prescience and reroll ones of this guy.
Yep.
Annihilated almost the whole squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy shoot here. He managed to get off a wound here, and he was also shooting, but he saved it. I think. Huh? Yeah. So. And the Scarabs were also shooting, taking out over here with the Soul Reaper and Hellfire 2 of the Dominions over there.
Retributors?
Retributors and 3 of that squad over there.
Yeah, so not bad. Okay, we're gonna go into the assault phase next. Very exciting. Okay, Simon, charge and fight phase.
It was quite brief. 4 hits there, 3 wounds.
Triple 6s
and
for
then
the save.
Triple 6s for the save. In return, nothing happened.
You made 2 saves.
Here also the same. Nothing happened because he was hitting 2 times, then wounding on a 2, and what he rolled Snake Eyes. So nothing happened at all. So
I actually got the jump on, got my 4 attacks in, hit 3 times, wounded 3 times, and you made 3 saves.
Yeah. So we are good on saves now somehow.
We are very good on saves right now. You control objective number 4 and objective number 2.
Yes.
And so far you've killed 2 units. That one over there.
Plus Big Game Hunter for that one.
Did you kill a second unit? No.
No, I don't think so, but it depends because on your
Yeah, we got some rules. So regular roll for these girls here, their leadership is 8. They've lost 3. That's a 1, so they're okay. I'm going to be using the Act of Faith on a 3 up. Sorry, a 2 up. They will be okay because they still have the Vexilla. They are okay. And these have lost 3, so anything but a 6. That's cocked. A 2, so they are okay. As far as morale check on your side, you don't need to make any. So that Act of Faith really comes in handy on that one. So keeping them in the game. All right, so you at least get 2 points and Big Game Hunter at this point. So we'll be back with the sisters turn 3 next. All right, on turn 3 for the Sisters of Battle, I started out using 2 Acts of Faith. The first one was Hand of the Emperor. That gave these sisters right here on a roll of 3 up, 4 up, a chance to, they go an extra 3 inches. So they move 9 inches to get in near these cultists. The other Act of Faith was over here on the right. That was Spirit of the Martyr. A roll of a 3 or better would have gotten me back a Seraphim. It did not. So the Seraphim have jumped up behind that wall there. The unit of 2 Stormbolters are tucked back in there, and the priest has moved up to support. We are now occupying these ruins. The squad of Decimated Sisters that were there advanced back 6 inches for a total of 12, joined by the Canoness, so that she's in range of both the Exorcist and the Heavy Bolter Retributor squad. This Canoness has moved up to the right a little bit, while these girls still remain in combat with the Dreadnought. I think that's my best chance. This Stormbolter squad has moved up to get line of sight on those rubrics. The priest that was out in the middle has jumped into here as well. You can kind of see what I'm trying to do there, while the Archoflagellant has remained in combat with the sorcerer there. He's not going to have the priest's support for the extra attack, so he's going to have to do it on his own. We'll go and see what we can do in the shooting phase next. The sisters started out praying for divine guidance, and their prayers were answered for this Retributor squad. Hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. We managed to take out 3 of the rubrics that were there. After that, despite doing 9 points of damage to them with these Stormbolters, Simon made 9 2-up saves, which meant we had to call in the heavy artillery. I'm glad I did. Once again, rolling a 6 for this. Ended up doing 5 wounds. Simon failed all 5 5-up saves. And so we've destroyed that unit, importantly. Over here, pistols do nothing against... Oh, I'm sorry. Pistols take 1 wound off the Dreadnought. While the priest who threw a frag grenade did no damage to the cultists in there. Neither did the melted gun as she missed. But plasma pistol was true and have killed 1 there. Simon, I think that's it for that, right?
Yeah, you're going for charges now, huh?
We are. So we'll be back. I'm going to be charging both the priest and those 2 sisters into the cultist. See how that goes. Okay, in the attack phase, the fight phase, Simon managed to kill 3 of these sisters here. I put 1 wound on him, but he managed to regain a wound, rolling 3 dice and had a 5-up on one of them. In here, he was, the priest did really good work doing 3 wounds to the cultist. Simon made 3 6-up saves, so high 5 on that one. And then the other sisters didn't manage to do any damage, despite hitting on 3s, 7 attacks, wounding on hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s. Nothing good came out of that, unfortunately. Over here, everyone made their saves,
and they took 1 sister in return.
So the cultists have a leadership value of 6. I'll roll that because they've lost 1.
So they lose 1, but they are still contesting because they are objective secure.
They're controlling, yes, controlling that one. So, as Simon points out, he has objective number 2 and 4. I have 3 and 1 over here. And we have both killed 1 unit at this point. So, the unit I killed was marked for death, so I got a point for that. So it's a very close game, and we'll go on to turn 4, and we'll do a consolidated turn from here on out, as we want to do. Okay, the score is 11 to 10 in favor of Simon. I have lost 3 girls here. Gotta take a morale check. 3, they're fine. So 11-10 Simon going on to his turn 4. All right, Simon, take us through your consolidated turn 4.
Okay, there was just a little bit not a lot moving at all. So he stays put. He just moved up a bit. That he gets rerolls for his Demon Forge, for the Forge Fiend. They moved up, and they moved up. Everything else was in combat. The Scarabs stayed put. In a psychic phase, I managed to get warp time on the cultists, so they could move up on here to get on the charge. And then what else? Zinja's Firestorm on this unit killed one more Retributor. Shooting also killed, I think, 2.
Yep.
Because some nice saves on your side.
Barricade come in handy.
And one bolter managed to kill here a girl. Then shooting and smiting with this guy into that guy didn't do at all anything. And also in the combat he didn't do anything. Same to him.
5 with 6 up, damage mitigation roll really comes through.
Yeah, the shooting, Scarabs, everything shooting despite the
Missile rack?
Missile rack. I forgot I could target that one, but I didn't see it. Okay. Yeah. And also managed to kill some girls there. I think in total everything together just 4 of them.
Yes.
So not quite good. And yeah, in the fight phase, they charged, managed inside, killed 1 Seraphim. And yeah, that's everything. Here...
You missed the biggest thing on your side, and that is your...
Forge Fiend, yes.
Forge Fiend.
My Forge Fiend finally managed to get rid of that nasty...
Yeah, did 2 wounds, I failed 2 4-up saves, and now the Exorcist is gone. Thankfully it did not blow up. And here...
The cultists, after I nominated them as my turn priority, I killed nothing?
Nothing.
Yeah, but they were then killed in return by the both together, I think.
Yeah, the Sister Superior actually. I think 1 each. Yeah, I think you're right. Okay.
And then here I managed to kill...
you want to see if he gets any wounds back?
Yes, I want to see. I do get 2 back.
Okay.
So he's back to 8.
All right, morale checks. I owe you 1 here. They have lost 3, so 3 plus 3 is 6. They're going to be fine with a leadership 8. Over here, Simon, I am going to use my faith point. You see right there. On a 3-up, they will just pass the faith. So they are not going to lose any additional. Only lost 1 here, and you don't need to take any at this point. So you do control objectives 4 and 3 at this point.
Yes.
And you have killed at least 1 unit.
Exactly.
So with that, the score is now 14-10 favor you. As we go to the sisters' turn for, see if we can start scoring some points. Seriously. It was an aggressive round for the Sisters of Battle, and it paid off. And we started with an act of faith to bring 1 of the Seraphim back with the 2 Inferno pistols, which was a great move. After that, they jumped out of combat next to Simon's Sorcerer there. Otherwise, I moved up the squad with the Combi Bolters, so they got shot from there, and the Canonist was able to get a Flamer shot and a Bolter shot into the Thousand Sun Rubric squad there. While over here, the Priest hid behind that wall while I opened fire with the 2 Storm Bolters, killing 4 cultists, eventually charged into there, killing all but 3, and they eventually lost a morale check and have panicked off the board. Over on the left, what you got?
I have to roll for that one?
Yeah, we'll say the rolls here for a minute. These girls also opened up on the rubrics, but I don't think they did any damage. I'm sure they did not. They rolled a bunch of 2s. Over here, slap fight ended with the Dreadnought killing 3 more. Importantly, though, I have killed this rubric Aspiring Sorcerer, gaining a point for that because that was marked for death. And it was actually the Arcoflagellant that did it. The Priest did nothing. So, looking around the board, I ended up killing more units than Simon did. And I hold more objectives at this point. Now we need to do some morale checks. So, Simon, we can start over with you. These cultists have already lost. This guy's trying to sneak in, pretend he's one of my guys.
Oh.
So you'll get him back. The rubrics here have lost 6 this turn.
They're all gone?
So they're all gone. All right. Seraphim didn't lose enough to take a check. Over here, nobody needs a check. Over here, they have lost 3. Their leadership is 8. I've rolled a 5, so they're going to stay where they're at for now. So with that, it is 15 to 14. My lead is I control 1, 2, 3 objectives, and he killed more than Simon, so that was a 4-point swing in my favor. So go to turn 5 next, yes?
Yes.
All right, much less on the board, thankfully. So quick update with those rubrics running off the board. That was a marked for death unit for me, so the score is 16 to 14 in favor of the Sisters of Battle. All right, Simon, that top of turn 5 is now over.
That was hilarious in a bad way, like the 4th turn, where I also missed a lot of armor saves. Ridiculously, here the same. Let's start over. I mean, I just went with the guy a bit up, my Forge Fiend. The rest was, yeah, staying put because I couldn't do anything. Then I tried to smite. Obviously, I needed a 5. I rolled a 4 to get rid of the Seraphim. It didn't happen. Then shooting at the Seraphim with the Hades autocannon, I split up one into that squad over here, one into the Seraphim. Nothing happened there on the Seraphim again. I think I took out one, maybe girl, or also not there.
I don't remember.
But maybe maximum one. I think I really lost one. And then yeah, I charged in over, and then I got an overwatch shot from a Melta. 3 hits from Melta, I think.
1 hit, it did 2 damage.
Yeah,
after you failed your save.
Yeah. And then I still was not able to kill the Seraphim with the Forge Fiend because I split up my attacks. 3 attacks on the Seraphim, by the way, making 2 hits, 2 wounds, 2 saves.
2 4-up saves. Rolled double 6s.
Yes, and then I think ate one sister there. In return, I lost 3 wounds, but now next turn I will switch it over. I will have 8 wounds again back because of Infernal Regeneration. And my Contemptor finally get rid of that squad over there, which was marked for death, so that's why I tied.
Yeah, so you got 1 point for killing a squad, 1 point for marked for death.
Exactly.
All right, so we are tied 16-16. Sisters, turn 5 coming up next. At the start of the turn, I used my last fate point to bring back the Seraphim. Once again, Resurrection bonus is awesome. They jumped out of combat with the Forge Fiend, and because they have the fly key rule, they were able to actually shoot Simon's Warlord there. But only did 1 damage, and Simon made a 5-up save. Simon, they are not allowed to charge into you, so it's a good thing no damage was done on either side. So we're just going to place them on the other side of the barricade. These girls withdrew from combat. While over here, I charged both Canonesses in, also a Priest, having fired the Heavy Bolters at the Forge Fiend. And then I moved these guys over to block, but they didn't actually do anything. At the end of the turn, the Forge Fiend has 3 wounds, thanks to the work of the Canonesses. And Simon killed the Priest, who was trying to help out there. And as far as objectives, I control 2, 4, 3, and 1, giving me a bonus point. Simon killed more units, so he ended up getting extra point at the end of the round. Right now, it is me 19, Simon 18, going into the 6th and final round. So these guys actually...
Fifth round.
This is the 6th round?
5th. Because I was starting, so it was your 4th. So it's now 5, isn't it? Or...
No, this is definitely number 6.
Okay.
It's been a long game, as we've been struggling with the new Codex. All right, so we go to the 6th and final round with me at a 1 point advantage so far. All right, Simon, your last turn.
Okay, so all in all, I could get off Smite, killing 1 Seraphim. Then I got Temporal Manipulation off to heal him up, the Forge Fiend. That was everything I got in a Psychic phase. Then in Shooting phase, Scarabs killed that Flagellant.
Not even.
Not even, yes.
They did a wound to him.
Yes, and then the combi bolter of the chain of the claw killed it finally, and the butcher cannon was shooting at the priest, but the priest managed, I think, 3 saves.
No, you got 1 through. I think you did 2 wounds and you saved 1.
But I had 4 hits and 4 wounds, I think so.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, and then I charged him, and then it was over.
Yeah, and Bird no longer protected.
Yeah, so here also the Inferno Bolt pistol didn't do anything to the Seraphim, so I had to charge, and I got rid of the last sister. I think barely, it wasn't? Oh no, it was. This was quite.
Yeah, quite handy.
Yeah, and then the Forge Fiend was attacking the Canoness, making I think 1 wound, and then you saved it.
Yep.
And you strike back, and then 1 wound on the Forge Fiend. So that's everything for now.
So quick correction. He only regenerates rune at the beginning of your turn, so in the future. Okay. All right, so you do get, well, you're going to kill more than I'm going to kill this turn, so you got that going for you. So you're going to get a total of 3 points. 1 for killing the Mark for Death unit there, 1 for killing a unit, and 1 for killing more units than I'm going to kill.
Wait, but character was also...
Yeah, so 4 points in total. Good call. All right, see what I can do at the end. Okay, so the Sisters of Battle with no faith left to spent no faith. I kept them in combat so my Canoness could use her Inferno pistol. And I moved the Priest out so they could benefit from the +1 attack. Since I wasn't going to take down the Dreadnought or anything else, I forewent shooting with them and couldn't really shoot with them because he wasn't the closest. So it really came down to the Canoness, who nailed it with her Inferno pistol. She wounded it, and then Simon rolled a 6, which saved it. And so in the end, it was just hitting each other with swords and claws. I did 2 damage to Simon, and Simon did no damage back to me. As I said, Simon killed more units, so he did get the extra point there. I, however, controlled more objectives. Again, controlled all 4. So that gave me the 2 points plus the bonus point for controlling all 4. And then ground control coming in at the end of the game. Since I controlled 4 objectives, I got 4 secondaries there. And the overall score ends up being 26-22, favor of the Sisters of Battle, new Codex. We're exhausted. But we're still going to come back with some post-game wrap-up. Whew.
So the objective in the end...
Welcome back to the Warhammer YouTube channel.
So finally a battle report after a long time. We are making battle reports for painting all the minis.
If you weren't so busy at school, we could play more often.
Well, it's not school, it's university, there's a difference.
School.
So, and, you know, doing PhD is always, yeah.
Well, let's talk about what brought us to the game table tonight. It's the new beta Sisters of Battle Codex.
And chapter approved. And chapter I have to say, I like it. I like the top point drops. You literally, I mean, focusing on my 1000 Sun rubrics and stuff like that.
We can do that for a little bit.
Yeah. So I get more bang for my bucks. That's definitely. I still would think that they could reduce the Inferno Bolter to 1 point at least, being 17 points. But I mean, I'm paying for a Warwick squad of 10-man squad, aspiring plus Soul Reaper Cannon. I'm paying 194 now. Before it was 225. So,
like we said, 15% decrease essentially.
15 to almost 20, yeah, 50% I would say. I'll call it there. Yeah, that's helping me out quite a lot. I can field more bodies because normally 1750, so I had always to decide, okay, 2 squads or a 3rd squad, but no bubble wrap or something. And yeah, it feels good. It feels good. I mean, maybe for UGW, Inferno Bolt pistols, make it just 1 point would be okay.
This isn't a beta chapter approved. It's a beta Sisters of Battle Codex. They don't want to hear your opinion on the price of Inferno Bolters.
but I want to.
Okay, well, fair enough. Fair enough. Simon thinks they should be 1 point cheaper.
Yes. All in all, let's recap first a little bit the battle. The battle was a swinging back. It was like that was like a boxing match.
Yeah, heavyweight title.
Heavyweight title over 12 rounds. Everyone is going all in. Everyone is getting hits, straight in the face or somewhere. And then turn 4 and 5, or turn 4 your side, turn 5 my side, was actually the decisive point or the turning point completely. There you could say I got a really almost knockout, because in that turn I just lost 2 Rubik squads, which were still 8 men strong, and that really hampered me because I was rolling so poor on that on the armor saves plus your exorcists. I mean, you just once re-rolled with a command point the amount of shots, and all the time in 3 rounds you had 6 shots all the time. So first you blow off the 1 contemptor, then
the second turn I threw it into your Demon Prince and he shrugged that off.
Yeah.
Didn't do any damage to him. And the third turn I took out a squad.
Yeah, there are
5 people. Yeah.
The Rubik squad. So yeah, I think Exorcist got to a point decrease.
We'll get to that. I agree.
It's super awesome. Exorcist is super awesome. I would say that.
It's good.
It's good. Okay, not super awesome, but it's really good.
Yeah. It is probably the best heavy support choice in the Sisters Codex now.
And now imagine you have 3 of them. That's would be hilarious.
Boy, I struggle to think if it's better than 3 Lehman Russes.
Yeah, but this we have to figure out.
Yeah.
So
it was good tonight, though. It really was.
They were really good. So this was actually the key point. The next thing is, what for me is very important is to get rid of those Seraphim. I mean, because if you don't get rid of them, they just wreak havoc what they want, because with the 12 inches move, where they have fly keyword, and the 1 squad I couldn't get rid of, so they killed another Exalted. So, and that's the really big thing on 1000 Suns. Your characters, Demon Prince, Exalted, these are your buffing machines. You're relying heavily on the psychic phase. I mean, you even with your stratagems and your deny the witches things, you couldn't stop me.
So between the Warlord trait, the Brazier of Eternal Flame, and my stratagem, all focused on stopping the 1000 Suns psychic phase, I stopped at 0 powers tonight. 0 powers. So it was actually just me sometimes rolling bad that I just stopped myself by doing things. So that's why I'm always mostly also out of experience that I'm targeting those squads first, because once you just kill my characters, my army's almost useless. 4 Inferno pistols are pretty good at killing a character. Definitely. So that's why I'm always focusing on that one. So if anybody asks why, so you have your explanation. And I think for my 1000 Suns army, as I said, I'm relying on my characters. They are a valid target and a very big threat to my army, and I have to get rid of them as soon as possible. Sure. Forge Field I took this first time. It's like a mixed bag a bit. I mean, I like you pay 150 points, 2 Hades autocannons with the jaw. I don't think it was so mixed for you tonight. Yeah, the first 2 turns were quite okay, but then later on when I ran out of command points, you killed my Demon Prince over there. Yeah. I couldn't get off Flickering Flames, so then it started to be... He was still okay. So he would put all the damage onto my Exorcist. And in the end game, he charged forward and killed the Priest for you. I think it was just a really good unit. I agree. He's really, really good once you use the stratagems and the Flickering Fire and things like that. Flickering Flames. Veterans of the Long War, and anything else you throw on him, he gets really good. 450 points. I don't think he was a mixed bag. I think he was really good. Yeah, I agree on that one. I revised that one.
But the thing is, still you have one problem as a Thousand Sun. You don't have anti-tank, so maybe taking a second one of that one would be much more firepower. Obviously, you can just use one.
Yeah, I mean, redundancy is probably necessary there. The problem is you're going to run out of stratagem points, command points.
By turn 2.
Quickly. You can't double up on the same one for the same turn, but if you do lose one, and I was scared to shoot it, to be honest, Simon, between the 5-up invul save and it gets a damage point, a hit point back at the beginning of every one of your turns. It was a firefight that I did not think my Exorcist could win.
Yeah, obviously, because also I parked my Exalted nearby to him for the reroll ones if I couldn't use Demon Forge.
And you were able to do the temporal manipulation on him as well?
Yeah, so regaining wounds. So that was already designed like a fire base over there, and I think he did well. Warwicks were quite solid, I would say, on my part.
Yeah.
This time they were okay. They were not doing a lot of miracles like in previous games, but they were okay. The Contemptor, yeah, that was like when I charge inside, 3 wounds, 3 6s.
You know, he eventually tore his way through all those sisters. But what allowed him to stay in that combat and me not withdraw from it is the fact that he had already taken my Seraphim off of that flank. So had I kept my Seraphim, and it was a really unfortunate series of events. So Simon gets off warp time. I try to stop
Advanced warp time.
Fail to stop it again. And then flames into my Seraphim, who are in cover at this point, so they have a 2-up save, and your thing is -2, right, for your flamer. So 4-up save, you did 9 wounds, and I failed 8 saves. You know,
but I made on 4d6. I just made with a reroll 10 hits, so I was also not really good on that one. So, but anyhow, you're
10
right.
hits, 9 wounds. You know.
Yeah, but that was
all I need is 2 of my Seraphim to survive with the Inferno pistols, and I pull that squad out of combat with your Contemptor.
Yeah.
Because then I'm shooting 4 melta guns at close range and 2
and
more
I think
melta guns.
with the Act of Faith which you have, that you can regain 1 or any sister on a 3+, that's great. I mean, it turns out there well when I was charging inside the cultist. That was a bold move, but the chances were not high, but why not trying?
Alright, so let's talk about the Acts of Faith. Certainly not nearly as game-breaking as they were in the Index.
Yes, they were game-breaking.
Yeah, game-breaking might not be the wrong word. Yunari is game-breaking because they keep winning.
Yes.
Sisters of Battle, they were breaking the rules of the game, but they weren't propelling Sisters of Battle to the top of any tournaments. They've always been a solid force for me. I enjoy using them. They do well. But they relied on those Acts of Faith in order to shoot twice or move twice or do those things. And they were able to do it at least once, more often than not, twice per turn for a total of 12 throughout the game. Maybe more if you brought the Imagifiers on a 4+. Now, I had 11 faith points. The Acts of Faith aren't nearly as impactful. And they're going off.
I would say they're balanced.
Balanced against what? I mean, what did they do for me tonight? I like where you're going with this, GW. I really do. I'm just struggling to see what they did for me tonight.
I mean, you regained the wounds, the Seraphims, 2 times out of 3.
Yeah. Which
actually helped you to kill characters, to almost kill a second character, hampering much more my army. They're a legitimate threat, and with that Act of Faith is really good on them. Then the free
Necrons bring back people, like all people, on a 5-up without having to roll a dice and only being able to do it 2/3 of the time. So, yes, I got to bring back 1 Seraphim per turn 2 out of 3 times, but it ain't great.
Yeah, I mean, we still have to figure out when we play, because this was the first game. We have to see how this turns out when you play also other armies.
It's gonna be okay. That's what it's gonna be.
It's okay. It's definitely okay.
Much more impactful is the chapter.
traits that you get for the different orders. So with that, I picked the Bloody Rose, +1 strength, +1 attack. It didn't work as I thought it was going to work because I wasn't really getting my large blocks into combat. But when they did get in combat, it is nice hitting with strength 4 and getting the extra attack. And I definitely supported it with enough priests tonight.
You had 4 priests on the table, didn't you?
I did. I had 1 missionary and 3 preachers. So they themselves don't do much.
They buff. They buff. That's
yeah.
What they do, they buff.
But in order to buff efficiently, the sisters are just okay. You know, giving +1 attack to a strength 4, toughness 3, AP dash model isn't great. It's great if you're an orc and you're doing, you know, all those attacks and whatnot, and because you got 30 boys that make it into it. But it's not great if you're a sister of battle.
Not really. Also, for example, World Eaters, would they have their butcher nails once the corn berserkers are coming inside? Close combat with Lodo chainsword plus chain axe, they're just ripping everything apart.
Yeah, and you're never going to have sisters of battle do that, right?
No, not really.
So the priests are cool. I'm going to continue to use them, and I'm going to continue to parlay the Bloody Rose for a little bit as I kind of figure this out. But the intent was to just keep marching forward, eventually get in a double tap range with those bolt guns, and then charge into the enemy where you're doing so many attacks that hopefully weighted numbers eventually stops you. You foiled that by bringing your demon fronts forward and killing my Seraphim on the left and your flamers on the right, killing my other squad of Seraphim. Those are really my knights if we're playing chess. Those are my attack pieces. I need them in order to make asymmetric threats on your forces. And when you neutered both of those squads, killing one and leaving the other one with 2 people, that really stalled my advance in the center, as did losing my penitent engines, which continue to suffer from can't get into battle.
Yeah, because as you said, I mean, your simple retributors, your simple battle systems, they're your anchor, and your Seraphim are kind of like your hammers a bit, and that's important. And that was key for me, because you then didn't start up to advance just to go to double tap range and do stuff, because I would have them threats here with the Seraphim. You could just freely go because you knew I would have to focus them.
See, even Seraphim I would not classify as hammers. I would call them a curveball.
A curveball, okay.
They're your set piece if we're playing football,
okay.
Right? You're not plowing through anybody. You're certainly not plowing up the middle, but you're coming around different angles in order to exploit the opponent's weaknesses.
Exactly.
But a hammer unit is like one that just goes right
okay.
There. So it's probably not that. Okay. And they certainly didn't act like in hammer tonight. So let's talk about the penitent engines. Reduced in points.
Reducing points, fighting twice, feel no pain.
Yeah, they still struggle to get in combat.
Yeah, but as we talked off camera, they are a legitimate threat, and that's why they are reducing the impact of my Inferno Bolters on your other sisters, because the gunfight against
you
my
didn't throw a whole lot of Inferno pistols or bolter guns at my penitent engines. You threw a lot of things at them, but it wasn't Inferno Bolters for the most part. It was the butcher cannons, this and that. And, you know, when you talk about them soaking up firepower for my army, the thing is, my army doesn't need anything to soak up firepower for it. They're in power armor. They get a 3-up save. If they're in cover, they get a 2-up save.
And the point reduction for the battle system also is coming quite handy now.
So I think it's still 9. I don't think it went down any. I think it was always 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is good, because I mean now they got their order traits, so it certainly didn't need to go down any. I think the battle sisters are fine. But back to the penitent engines, you say they're a threat. I still don't see it. I love the models, and I would love to see them be threatening. But if there's an army across the board from you that is not advancing towards you, it's taking you way too long to try to get across the board with a 4-up save, toughness 6, 7 wound model.
So I think, as we also talked off camera, maybe stratagem. I don't know if that would be one
command point or maybe 2 command points, but a stratagem which you can advance and charge.
That was my idea.
I know, that's why
You're trying to pitch it like it's your idea, Alyssa. That's my idea.
Of course it's your idea.
You argued against it at first, and I think, when people are across the board from Pentagon Engine, they think, oh my god, that thing's gonna wreck my army, even though it has never done that in the history of 40k for me. And so you were a little reticent to say advance and charge for stratagem. And I pointed out that there's already all kinds of models in the game that can do something like that. Your Contemptor Dreadnoughts have warp time, which allow them to do it. Orcs, of course, have the Wa, and you're already moving farther than me. 9 inches, you said, with your Contemptor?
Yes, 9 inches.
My Pentagon engines are moving 7, so I think they need something to help them close that distance.
I mean, either the stratagem or another thing would be just improving their movement to 10, for example.
Oh, fair.
That would be a fair thing.
Yeah, but I mean, with the heavy flamers and no special role to allow them to move and advance and shoot heavy flamers, normally you're 24 inches away from your enemy to start the turn. So even if they go up there 7 inches, they can only shoot the flamer out 8 inches, so 15 inches. You're not there, and so then you do it again, and you're just starting to get there by turn 3, because 14 inches moving twice, plus the 8 inch for the flamer is 22 inches. If that other opponent across from you is a gunline army, you ain't making it. And the only time I got one of my 3 Pentagon engines into the fight tonight is when you brought your Demon Prince way up the field.
Yes, that was a little bit tricky, because I think that was also a key moment. He soaked up a lot of firepower.
Yeah.
In the end, he went down, and I was using a command point, my last command point, that he saved that one. And I was happy that I could swing at the Pentagon engine to kill it, and then you made the saves, which really helps you, and then you killed it in return.
Yeah.
That thing plus the Contemptor Dreadnought in the first turn, that actually quite reduced my impact on the game, but still my rubrics were unscattered or unhampered. So that was it was risky, definitely. I knew it was an all-in move. I definitely knew it. I just had to survive with one wound, and then just going back, healing up again.
So I think the Exorcist is by far the best option for Sisters of Battle when it comes to their heavy support choice.
Definitely. I mean, the D6 plus point reduction, D6 damage plus point reduction, that's awesome.
Strength 8, AP -4 has always been good.
Yeah.
Going from D3 damage to D6 damage helps a lot. It's still random, but that's what you got command points for.
Yeah.
Sister stratagems, I need more practice with them. The Blessed Bolts, how bad was that roll?
Yeah.
Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, I roll 7 2s out of 12 shots. Oh
sorry, I'm laughing like an evil maniac.
It goes back to, us saying the game was real swingy back and forth.
Yeah.
That was one of the times I was shooting at your Demon Prince. That's real swing. But they do have some interesting stratagems. I gotta be playing the right ones at the right time and not wasting points on anything. Probably the reroll 1s to wound with Faith and Fire isn't a great one. But rerolling all wounds against Psychers, that is a good one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, with Psychers. So I think the stratagems are looking good. I think the ecclesiarchal battle conclaves are looking okay. I thought the Arcoflagellants did well tonight. And I think certainly the Death Cult Assassins have played as well.
Yeah, because I mean, they were killed in the first combat round, but then that one guy was sticking. It was like a picking around, and in the end he won. Also, my turn. I have to say, Scarab Occult Terminators. They also got point reduced. They do what they do. You just drop them somewhere in a specific point and you just shoot at people.
Yeah, you were really timid with them tonight.
Yes.
Dropping them up there.
Yes, because I didn't want to drop them on not on the streets over there somewhere, because there had been the Death Cult Assassins and they would have shredded them.
Well, yeah, not Death Cult Assassins, but Arcoflagellants.
Yeah, Arcoflagellants. They would have shredded them.
Maybe.
I mean, you have 2 wounds apiece.
I think the Terminators, though, right? I mean, they can make 2 up saves all day, or they could fail them all.
Yeah.
So it would have been tough. But keeping them up there in the end at this objective game, for the last 2 rounds, I held all 4 objectives, and that's what put me over the top at the end with my ground control.
Yeah.
Secondary. We ended up tying on secondaries. You got 9, I got 9. And so it was in the primaries that I slightly edged you out, and that was because I was getting bonus points for having all 4.
Otherwise, it would be a draw.
Lots of points up there with the Scarecrow Terminators that weren't marching on an objective and holding it.
Yeah, that was, as I said, this was a 2-edged sword because on the one hand, I wanted to protect them. On the other hand, yeah, that was like, yeah.
Yep, and it was a tough position because once I got my sisters inside the ruins, after I gave up on killing them, that they can't shoot them anymore, and I was able to take off those cultists, which performed well for you, but in the end, if cultists are going up against Bloody Rose sisters, those sisters are going to win.
Yeah, definitely. So actually, yeah, that was the hope that I can get out of this serve, and that's why I did it. The chances were not quite good, but I mean, worth trying.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they would just jump out and go for that cultist and the exalted. So I had to do something.
All right. Well, we've been talking for 23 minutes, so I'm exhausted.
I'm too.
It was a good game.
It was really, today, as I said, it was an intensive game. I think this was my most intense game in my whole 40k career.
Yeah. I don't think I could have played it much better. Some people might disagree with me. Leave a comment if you think so. But I really liked the way I played. Some things didn't go for me. Some things went well for me. And when it came for my killing blow in turn 4, everything went as I had needed it to go. So I think everything up to that put me in a position to win. So
exactly.
I was happy. I'm happy with the way I played.
So yeah, that was a good game, and as you know, people, we don't go on talking anymore. Just give us comments, say what we're gonna go to improve. Michael will obviously go and practice more with his sisters, because first game, act of faith, stratagems, you can read a lot, but you need field practice.
I just got it this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll be back with the sisters. Maybe they'll have allies. I think allies could do them some good.
Impure God, I see it.
And their tanks are so good. Maybe not, we'll see. But good game, Simon. I'm glad you came over. I'm glad we got to play this game. And hopefully you've enjoyed this Battle Report. If you have, make sure that you give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed as we climb slowly towards 1,000 subscribers. And then leave a comment down below, especially if you want to talk Sisters of Battle. We answer every single comment that we get, just about, unless you're making fun of my St. Louis accent. So engage with us. Like to hear from you. And until the next time, play painted.
Play painted.
Woo.